Should I just post this picture?
Yep.
Am I okay?
Yes, this is the for sure trap house. Hell yeah. Hey.
I've got the world on a string.
Hi, this is Colette Lush, and this is a Culture Fuzz Creator Spotlight.
Damn. Yeah. Booyah.
I'm making $25 a day, and my rent still hasn't been paid yet. No, I ain't used to feeling this way. Got me stressed out while I'm counting my change, yeah. I didn't think when I moved to LA I'd have 6 jobs, I want IMA. So can you give me a reason? It's the wrong season. I wanna see the future I need, yeah.
Have this routine, but I do it every morning now because quarantine made me. I feel like the positive out of this is it's been a lot of focusing on like your mental health. For me, every morning I make a coffee, I walk my dog for like 10 minutes, I come out here with my yoga mat, I do a yoga class. Sometimes before or after the yoga, I'll sit there for like 10 minutes and meditate. I normally do guided because I'm ADD as fuck. Every morning I write out, say I have a lot on my mind or I'm kind of stressed out, then I'll journal it all out, but I try to always be focusing on what am I grateful for and what do I want to bring into my life, and I really just try to have good energy and like a really positive mindset while I'm doing this, and it really sets up my day to be like amazing. My goal has always been to just support myself financially through music only, and I think that's obviously every creator's goal with anything creative that you're doing. What can I do in this moment to be as productive as possible? And a lot of that comes with sitting down and writing a song, or if I don't feel inspired, also in this journal I'll write down like rambling poetry. No, I feel like it's just focusing on everything that is in my control and everything I can do. So that's writing, that's doing my own graphics, that's coming up with all my video concepts, that's just being very heavily involved in everything that I do, and to be very focused on music every single day.
Ladies, you know how you're bringing your fine ass man to the club tonight. Let me take them off your hands for a little. We gon' wine, dine, and have ourselves a grand old time. Then, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got my first minor deal with Disney at 15. They really wanted to steer me into like bubblegum pop. Like I hated it so much. That's been kind of a recurring theme throughout my whole 9 years now, has been like, don't do R&B, do pop, which is frustrating because all I've ever loved is like soul and R&B. At 17, I was kind of on the focus of, okay, I'm gonna be a fashion designer. Like that's what I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna do. And then it seemed like the closer and closer I was getting to starting, the more these random meetings would happen. Like my best friend / manager at the time was running into like The Dream and like huge producers, huge writers, just coincidentally by, you know, working at her grocery store, and they would come and say hi. There has to be a reason that all this keeps happening. My heart has always been with music, but I guess I was kind of doubting myself for a while, which sounds so cliche, but like, duh, everybody does. And then at 19, I went on Idol, and then from then on, I was really just trying to write as much as I could for myself to try to get my own music out. I always loved old soul. I think that kind of ties in with like my love for like the 50s and the 60s and like that retro time. I always loved the sound of Motown a lot. Really loved the Supremes. And then going back, I really loved Etta James. She was like the first old soul artist that I really connected with, where I was like, oh shit, like, I really feel what she's saying. And like that was my first experience really feeling music. Billie Holiday, Curtis Mayfield, Ray Charles, Frank Sinatra, Jack Jones, Patsy Cline. I have my moments where I listen to trap and hip hop and R&B, like current stuff, but mostly I'm inspired by how people used to sing.
You were a bridge. I didn't wanna burn, there goes that bridge.
7-1 was kind of like an experimental thing for me. I didn't really expect anything. Nobody knows who I am. I have very minimal promotion. Either some things will do well or they won't. Like, I don't really know what to expect. What's been really cool is how many people have, one, found it. I was surprised that so many people connected, I guess, because for me, I always looked to music because I had trouble communicating, and so I felt like if I found a song that said everything I wanted to say, I wouldn't feel alone. And the amount of people that have told me they feel that way about my music, I just didn't expect that. I consider myself to be pretty humble. Maybe it's not humble to call yourself humble, but so whenever something does happen or whenever things do well, I'm very like pleasantly surprised, and I'm like, wow, thank you so much. Like, I'm so grateful for that. 6 out of the 7 songs were about a relationship I was in for a few years, which was pretty unhealthy. I think we all go through that toxic relationship. It was hard for me because it was my first real like adult relationship, my first love, or well, not my first love, my first like adult love, and letting go of that was really hard. So a lot of those songs were me kind of having internal battles about how I should feel about it. I had this period in my life where it seemed every woman I know was talking about their divorce story or their heartbreak story of their big love, and it really inspired me, and I wrote Don't about that, about actually divorce. And I imagined like, okay, how would I feel? How much pain would I feel if I had a life with somebody and I had kids with somebody and then, you know, they cheated or they walked out? Like, how would I interpret that? And I would just say like, don't leave, you know, which sounds kind of weak, but it was true to how I was feeling at the time. When I do like love something or love somebody, like I'll ride hard for that person, whether it's a friend, family, relationship, whatever. Like, I really care a lot. So, and I think it's sometimes I feel like kind of weak for being so vulnerable in my music, but then the other part of me is like, no, that's what is so beautiful about being a woman, is being so strong, but then also having such like a caring, loving side that is emotional and vulnerable. When I was 17, I went through my first like earth-shattering heartbreak. That was my like first love, first boyfriend, guy I lost my virginity to, like big deal for me. And I was sitting down with my voice coach at the time. He was like, okay, we need to get this out. I'm gonna try to guide you and help you try to write. And I would have full mental breakdowns just trying to talk about my feelings, let alone write a song about them or be open in any way. So I started getting to a point where I was like, okay, if I want to create music, if I want to say anything real, and I never wanted to be somebody who was putting up a front or was being fake, you know, in any way. I always really appreciated when people were real around me, so I wanted to be that. And it really became a process of, okay, I have to be comfortable enough to sit in my pain, to sit in what I'm feeling, and to really process it. And through that, I learned like, oh, it's easier for me if I'm just open with everybody. If I'm just saying, hey, this is exactly how I'm feeling right now. I hope that that's okay. I hope you receive that well, but like, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. So I guess it kind of became like an empowerment thing for me, but also it was fueled by wanting to create.
Hold me close and hold me fast, the magic spell you cast. This is love en rose.
Time between 7-1 and my new project Lush, I've gone through a lot of changes, a lot of maturing, and a lot of like, not to quote Kylie Jenner, but a lot of realizing stuff, you know? A lot of growing from past mistakes and becoming more of like a woman. I think you can expect more me. I think there's a lot more personality. I wanted to have fun, and I wanted to stop being such a sad girl all the time. So this project was a lot of experimenting and a lot of just me having a great time in the studio and it coming out into a song. I could sit here and be like, I want to be the top something artist and I want to be doing all this shit, and like, obviously that would all be wonderful. I just want to create a sense of comfortability and community with people that listen to my music. I want them to feel like I get you, like I know what you're going through. I felt this way too. I just want to be able to pay my rent bills without crying and buy my mom a house someday, you know?
Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be love en rose.